Ladies and gentlemen of the Smash universe, welcome back to Button Check, powered by Mainline. Shouts out to those guys. I'm Banjo, and I'm joined by
What's up? And Bobbles.
It's good to have both of you guys here for another delicious weekend of Smash Brothers we had all around the country, starting with our own home, over there in College Station. Uh, so NFA happened, and this is going to lead into our first topic, which is Texas good? Are we good at this game?
Yeah.
Are we legitimately like a national level threat at this point?
Seems
After
like it.
like post Genesis, are we really poised to have like more than one player on PGR? Is the big question.
Would say yeah.
Yeah. I think we're still a little bit of ways from being like one of the regions to beat, like the SoCals and the Tri-States. But I definitely think like you take who I think our top five is going to be in our first PR season, you put them up against most other top fives of any other region in the country, and we're probably beating them. I would say 60-70% of those regions.
Which,
I would agree.
Yeah, which our top five would be, Trello, Lima, May, Hockey, and Austin.
Mm-hmm.
But like I really want this to be like as non-biased as possible. So, we've for the last couple of months we've seen that Austin has literally beaten every supposed pro player that's come his way.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
The Viking god himself.
Tamim, Dunzo. MVD, nope. Best Nest, nope. And now SDX this past weekend. So the only person who's really beaten him is Trella.
Yep. And that was like what, 2-3 weeks into the game?
Yeah, it was like week 2 of the game. I think it was the second or third Ultimate Shockwave.
Yeah, like, Austin might beat him again, or who knows? Trella might beat him now, but
whereas, I was gonna say Trella had really everything that Trella's participated in at a tournament level, he's won.
He has not lost it. No, he has lost the tournament, but he's basically won everything. And he's won
his
both
win,
regionals.
So his win ratio was in the 90s, and he's he's
Same
amongst
with Austin.
Yeah, his win ratio is in the 90s along with Austin. Hockey getting his win over Elegant this past weekend. May, who took a set off of Trella, and then Lima, who is always going to be able to compete at that high level, getting top 8 at the last NFA. But yeah, him being the 5th best player, I think Lima being the 5th best player in Texas is like, that's a dangerous top 5. If Lima's like the beginning of the beginning of the ceiling of Texas Smash. So
yeah. And a lot of people probably wouldn't even put Lima at 5th. They'd either put Shadow PR or Zale there. So like Texas is pretty strong. But it won't matter how strong we are unless, for one, more people defend. Because even if it just becomes Austin, let's say down the road it's only Austin beating people. Sure, like Texas is still good, but it's the same thing as Smash 4 essentially. Like Lima would be the only person doing anything, or Trella would at the beginning of Smash 4. So it's gonna matter more. Okay, Austin beat SDX, but Hockey did too, and so can, I don't know, let's say Joker or something like that, or Zale. Zale went to Genesis and beat Mudays. Big Zaddy almost beat Louis Money from NorCal. Like, he should have won, but he SD like a 0 stock 1, almost brought it all the way back game 3. So, like, Texas is strong unless, for one, we constantly perform and defend our state, but 2, travel. Obviously, not everyone can travel. Like Austin will likely not travel much, but we have Lima. Zale's going to travel. Shadow PR is going to travel. Trella wants to travel at least to Prime Saga minimum. Carno is always going to be a fiend. Hockey seems to want to travel more. So as long as they don't always have to win when they travel, but when you go over there and you're just, and it's even if it's only on the lower rank of the PR, where let's say you beat someone that's like number 10 in SoCal that not many people know unless you're in SoCal, but SoCal now knows, oh wait, Hockey's good. He only lost to like Boyd and Leo or whatever. So
Yeah,
It's
I
gonna
think
matter more if we travel.
yeah, I think yeah, I agree with Jaga. Like I think it can't just be like one big player carrying a whole state. I also think it comes down to like the region has to be deep. Like you look at SoCal, like a SoCal, Tri-State, and Florida. Like those are like the three like pillars of Smash right now in terms of talent, and those guys are pretty stacked top to bottom. Like you look at I remember like you look at any SoCal weekly, and there's two or three PGR players at a weekly, which is insane, or at least two or three, maybe more players that are in PGR contention. So sure, we can have a real solid like top three or a real nice looking top five, but if we're if it's just a bunch of yahoos after that, then it doesn't. To me, it doesn't really speak to the strength of a scene. Like I think it's obviously important to have your top players, but having a strong 1 through 5 is nice. But I think having a strong 6 through 10 is probably just as important. Maybe even down to like 11 through 15, like people who can compete with the top 10 in a region or a state.
So, along with these very strong players, we're starting to see the character meta develop finally. It took a couple of months, but we're starting to see like everything get exposed for what it is. Some things we figured were the same, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to mid tiers and low tiers, we figured a lot of it wasn't going to like differ that much, but um we finally come to a top 10, and from those 10 we have 5 that are the used the most. So we have a top 5. This is Button Check's top 5. This is our top 5 characters that we are going to use, or in our opinion, top 5 characters that are most successful in the meta right now. So when it comes to Smash Brothers, our top 5. So which one of you wants to be judged first? Because I'm literally looking at this tier list, and I'm just like, for both of you, and I'm just like, okay.
Peach is number 1. That's all that matters.
Huh?
Peach is number 1.
Peach is number 1 for people who have Peach tech skill, but continue.
Peach is number 1. If you play the character well, Peach is number 1, and then
matter of fact, before we get into this, I think we need to define exactly what makes you top 5 in this game.
Right. And what makes you top 5? It's easy. You have combos. You have a consistent way to kill, whether it's a throw or kill setup or anything. Your recovery isn't awful. It doesn't have to be great. It just can't be awful. And then the last thing is that you could either ledge guard, or it doesn't matter which one. Whether you have to go off stage to kill them or stay on stage and just trap them, doesn't matter which one. As long as you have for all 4, you're like top 5. And if you have 3 of the 4, you're probably a top tier.
And we're not going to include ease of access.
No, because it doesn't matter. Because it doesn't matter how easy a character or how hard a character is. If they're good, they're good. It affects meta in terms of how popular a character is. So, like, let's say Olimar was really easy. Everyone would start thinking Olimar is better than he might be because everyone's using him. You look at all the technical characters, like most charge characters in Street Fighter aren't the best characters. It's typically like Shoto's. Like the only charge character that's really at the top. And generally
Bison.
charge characters would be considered hard, but they're not normally at the top. Like Bison's charge, and he's good, but he's not at the top. At the top, still Akuma or whatever. So ease of access could matter, but like Gaio on paper is crazy. Akuma, who's just even better, and it doesn't, and it just happens to be.
Guile is a top 5 character in in Street Fighter 5. Guile is a charge character who was top 5 in that game.
Yeah,
but pre-patch. Pre-patch, Nikali was the best. Was one of the best characters in that game, and he was a charge character. So,
but that's the thing. Like being hard doesn't mean much. Like if you're hard, cool. If you're not hard, cool. Like the thing is, like the harder characters end up being more popular because everyone thinks they're harder, so they're better because they're harder. So like that's why you see so many Peaches right now, because everyone's like, oh, they're hard, so I want to lab this character. And no one could think I'm getting carried because everyone thinks it's a hard character. So, but I think Peach is crazy. First of all,
And
and
you
then
you're gonna give her the #1 spot in the game.
yep, probably
So
she's the
Peach
most
is
consistent character. There's a Peach in like every top 8 ever.
okay. All right. So who's the rest of your top 5?
Probably any order of Palu, Fox, Pichu, and Cromroy.
All right, Bobbles,
Something
go
like
ahead.
that.
Okay. Let's see. I kind of wrote I wrote down. I sent you guys like my top 10 and who I thought, and like looking back on it, I think what I like to settle on. I'm still like insanely high on Wolf. I think Wolf is top 5 for sure, possibly top 3. I'm still kind of on the fence about putting him like first. Like I put him first initially, but I was just like, I don't know. I could like what really kind of blew me away on Wolf was like MKLeo coming in with like what he said 3 days worth of Wolf experience, and he won PGG Heart of Battle. So I thought that kind of spoke a lot. Maybe not so much to like the ease of access of the character, but it showed that like Wolf's been in the hands of a lot of top players already in this game, and the I just see like the Wolf. I just see like when a top player pulls out Wolf, they're succeeding most of the time. Leo, Tweak, um, Leo, Tweak, Zachary, obviously, you know. But
Yeah.
I think Wolf is for sure in there. Palutena, I think Palutena is the most consistent character in the game.
I personally think Palutena is the #1 character in this game.
It's either Peach or Palu. Results wise, it's Peach, but I think Palu is insane. And I've been saying Palu's #1, and everyone's like, Drago, you're crazy. She's not even top 5.
Yeah,
I'm like,
well,
"What?"
we all know that the hood loves Dragonite, so
Right.
we know, bro.
I would give Palutena. I'd give Palutena the edge simply because, I think Peach is stupid good, and I think Olimar is also stupid good. I think those characters are seeing a lot of success early on in the meta because you're thinking about it, we're still 2 months into a possibly 5 or 6 year long stretch that we're looking down.
Yeah.
So I think because Peach and Olimar both have a lot of mechanics that carried over from Smash 4 into Ultimate on top of receiving buffs, then the people that have already put that time into there are going to succeed out of the gate. And I think as other, like especially the newcomers and the returning characters and characters that may have gotten a bigger overhaul than Peach and Olimar, as they kind of get their meta caught up and figured out, you know, because like Samsora and Mudace and Saj and like other Peach players, and then like of course Dabuz, I'm Hip, and Shuton, all them, the Olimars, they already came in with like this fundamental knowledge of this character, especially a character like Olimar and Peach who have high execution levels. So you take that into consideration on top of them being better than they were in the last game, then you're going to see like the most common character in the top 64 Genesis was Olimar. There were 7 Olimars in the top 64.
Yeah,
like you would never ever see that in Smash 4, maybe in Brawl, but never in 4. Peach, I think there was 4 or 5 Peaches in the top 64. So
yeah.
I don't think the characters will fall off that much. I think Peach is going to stay probably top 5 for the first 2 years of this game. Olimar, I don't think is probably going to end up around 8 or 9 or 10 unless they do something to the Pikmin and ruin them again. But right now, I think they're both top 5 characters. I think having a dedicated player base already coming in helps both of these characters a lot. But I think the further we get in there, the more that other metas get caught up, they'll kind of fall off. Not a lot, but a couple spots. But yeah, top 5 in any order because I'm bad at making decisions. Wolf, Palutena, Peach, Olimar, and then Lucina. Just because Lucina is also probably the most consistent character after
Yeah,
Palutena.
Lucina's pretty crazy.
I got
Lucina.
Palutena at #1. I think Palutena is the best character in this game. I think her tool set is absolutely ridiculous. I think people who have never played Smash Brothers in their life can pick up Palutena and probably do moderately well at their regional. I mean, at their regional, at their weekly. Excuse me. I think a person who like barely picked up the game. I think ease of access matters a lot with her, but like Dragonite said, you know what I'm saying, in the grand scheme of things, it don't matter. but Palutena is like ridiculously good at this game. She got the edge guarding tool. She's got the good recovery. She's got a counter. She's got projectiles, good neutral. She has like it's like
Yes,
why she
everything.
why she have this much, and it's just like, all right, well, I mean, she's literally the most annoying character in the game to fight, and like if she touches your shield, you can literally do nothing. You have to sit there and take it like some commoner, and she is a god. So she's number one in the game. I got Peach at number 2. I got Inkling at 3, just because I think Ink in this game is a ridiculous passive trait, and even with and since Inkling got pseudo nerfed with the berry, and you're still this good with all these tools, I think that's still, I think Inkling is still very, very viable, and Inkling has been in a lot of top 8s. Um, I got Lucina at 4 because she's the best Fire Emblem character in the game, and because I got Roy and Crom at 5, just because their hard counter is actually Lucina. So that's I think those are the 5 best characters in the game. Pichu and Wolf would be honorable mention, just because I think Wolf, I would say, like, a lot of people are using him, but he's kind of like he might be a one trick pony.
Mhm.
And then Pichu is like a Kuma in Street Fighter 5. He's glass cannon.
Yeah,
Like
if
K
I
like K Rule, Bowser, like all. If you're a weight class above Pichu, then you might die like at 50%. So I got him. I got Pichu there, and then followed behind him is what is that? Snake Fox, Ike, and Olimar in no particular order. But I think amongst those, I gave you my top 5, and I think those guys behind it are some of the best people in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I had to put any honorable mentions out, I have Pichu for sure. Fox as well. Fox. I don't know if that character has like a bad button. Like I see Fox's play, and they just do stuff. They just like do stuff on people's shield, or they throw moves out, and I'm just like, where's your lag?
I get hit by the front hitbox of up tilt.
Oh, yeah.
Up tilt's still a nasty vortex. It's still as good, if not better, than it was in the last game. But yeah, Fox and Pichu would probably be right outside top 5. Roy and Crom, Ike, and then I'm super big on Young Link. I think Young Link just needs his front runner in his meta. Like, he just needs like a top player to play him. Like, I've seen like glimpses of it. Like, I know Yeti's playing him, and was like a technical or Yeti. I'm blanking on his name. Zan. I don't know why I said Yeti. Zan's playing him, and Zan was like a technical fiend with Toon Link. So watching some of the stuff he can do, I've seen Tweak play him. So if Tweak starts playing him more, there's like Leffen's dropped hints about playing Young Link. So I think if he has like a champion, if he has like someone who can help push his meta, I think he's probably scraping into top 10 sooner rather than later.
Yeah. I think all the characters y'all named are really good, and like to round out essentially like the top 15, the only characters we're missing that we're not talking about are probably like Wario, Pikachu, I don't know, whatever else, and like all these characters are insanely good. Like, just I don't think any of us put Pichu on our top 5, but I think all of us could see Pichu being top 5.
Mm-hmm.
Or even if we go lower down the top 10, like Snake, a perfect Snake, that character might be top 2. Like, if he's playing absolutely perfect, as long as it's not like a god awful matchup, like, I don't know, I guess Falco or something like that. So all these characters are crazy, and I think all these characters have potential, and I think Young Link is super crazy. I played against one recently. That man's buttons are insane. He has no lag. He can't kill consistently. He has a lot of cool setups, but you could short hop back air and nair in the same short hop, and nair kills you at 130 if you're not DIing well. Like, that's that. Oh gosh,
that's actually the devil.
And he would hit my shield with back air. I'm like, okay, time to punish, and then he nair me, and I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll smash attack on your shield. Like I was playing one on Elite Smash the other day with this Bowser, and he like up smashes right on top of my shield. I'm like, sick, up B time, and then he down smashes me, and I'm like, what? Like,
Yeah.
what?
Two
Where's my?
moves.
Where's my? Where do I win?
Two moves in the same frame, like a cheat code.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. So he
Uh,
gonna get the big he gonna get the Armika death, bro. He's gonna get the the good old the band hammer, dude.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna get the fat nerf hammer.
The game
Because
needs more lag.
that's
Like,
I mean that's probably what's gonna happen to him, bro. They're just gonna make a couple more of his moves have just a tiny bit more cooldown to make him like the other links, thereby making him, I wouldn't say null and void, but like right now this character is super annoying. He made one of our players in our team retire, so he's super.
Oh,
That dude,
no.
that character is super annoying. I'm not gonna say his name out of respect for him. I love him, but it's like it's super annoying character. But yeah, if that's our five for success. And if you want to be good at Smash 5, or if you want to perform at a high level of Smash 5, then those first 5 characters that Peach, Palu, Lucina, Roy Crom, Inkling, yeah, pick up one of those. You'll do or anybody in those top 10. Really, you'll do okay. You will do okay.
Yeah, don't go down the trodden path like me and Banjo stuck in Heavyville.
Nah, I definitely use Wolf. I definitely use Wolf.
Yeah, I've got a Wolf and a trainer, so it's like,
yeah, I'm fine. I'm okay. I'm okay. I wish I could like use like the people I really want, but number one, he's not in this game yet. Maybe he will be. We'll save that for later. But they did buff the god Incineroar, and when I get back from Frostbite, that's mainly who I'm going to be using.
yeah, I don't think Incineroar got buffed. I think that patch actually hurt him. I think the up B
Why?
nerf. So let me explain real quick before we move on. I think his up B
Fine,
nerf.
before you start, I just want to let you know that you're wrong. But go ahead.
No, okay, but so look, let's give me out. I think that buff wasn't significant enough aside from, I guess you can now run off revenge off stage without dying, which is okay. But he lost down throw up B at the ledge, which is like a super crazy cheese option that he kind of needed because he's bad. So like if you're getting gimped, like if a Lucina fares you, that up B buff did not change anything. You are still dead. That angle that it sends you at is terrible and you're dead. So that buff basically got rid of his best cheese, changed his recovery enough.
Well, I understand that.
Buff was fine.
Look,
Like,
I
yeah,
understand
buff-
that like in this game you need cheese to be successful in some manner, but like it was a monkey's paw situation. So you unless they were gonna make Incineroar really stupid, they were either gonna make his recovery really good again, and then you lose you lose the cheese, or you keep the cheese and you get that garbage recovery. I would definitely take the latter because I'm not gonna I'm gonna depend on I'm not gonna depend on cheese to win, right?
because Incineroar is cheese. He's just a gimmick. Revenge is literally a gimmick. So like they made him less cheesy, but inherently it made it worse and less scary to fight him. Like if you
How
knew
is
like,
how is Revenge not the best cheese in the game?
because you have down throw up B at the ledge.
You already have the best cheese in the game.
Revenge is the worst cheese in the game because
it's the best cheese in the game.
Revenge is so good, dude. Revenge is great.
You know, I was playing double yesterday with Duo, right? I forward smash Duo as Bowser in doubles, right?
Yeah.
Did it again. Did it twice. And guess what happened to Piranha Plant when Piranha Plant got grabbed? From 0 to 110. Cannot make that up.
That's doubles. That's
Oh
not
yeah, but it's the same concept. It's a goofy mechanic.
Yeah, okay. Well, anyways, talking about like new things, and I guess there's some player moves this week.
He instantly shifted him.
I can't win this
He
argument.
instantly wanted to shift it to him. No, you need to know that Revenge is stupid.
Revenge is dumb, assuming you don't lose it. But it's so easy to lose. It's a bad gimmick.
It's easy to lose if you're bad.
okay. Yeah,
It
I get it.
is.
All right, you got it.
Nah.
When we
Alright.
play again in bracket,
He-
we could do the Incineroar Ditto.
I'm not playing no Incineroar Ditto.
All right, well, I'll go Incineroar versus you, and I'll
You're
show
gonna
you
go
how bad he is.
Incineroar, and
Yeah,
you're
I'll
gonna
show you how bad
lose.
he is because you're gonna beat me because the character's bad.
Don't do it to yourself. Because all you're gonna see on Twitter is how Banjo beat Dragonite, and it don't matter if it's through. I'm gonna take it to the grave. Now we
Okay.
can talk about how you got picked up. Go
All right,
ahead.
you got it. You go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay, so player moves this week, right? So Armada picked up a healthy amount of players. They picked up some guy who did pretty well at Genesis, by the name of Myron. Yeah, Pikmin.
Yeah,
Olimar,
ninth
very,
place.
very well. And he also picked up one of the best Midwest players, Ned. Very, very wholesome boy. Very nice. He's been in Houston a couple of times. We've had him over a couple of times. He's very nice kid. And Prodigy, who
The literal
um
prodigy. 14-year-old Mario player from NorCal. And he got 13th for Genesis. Like, that's just crazy.
I was about to call him a literally who, but that would have been really, really like disrespectful.
Who?
Who?
Yeah,
Who?
bro. I didn't want to be that guy. But more importantly, the person managing Super Smash Bros. Ultimate for the Switch in 2019 going forward, the hood loves him, Austin loves him, so now the nation is gonna have to love this man. This man Dragonite is Armada once again. He's with the Armada esports team once again, but he's their manager. He's the manager. He's a Smash manager.
Nope. So now we have
Welcome. Yeah, it's like welcome to the managerial fold, baby. This is how
cool,
we
kind of.
operate from behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's cool to be behind the scenes of an organization I've been with over a year now, and there's a lot of cool things in store, and then the team is great too because we still have Best Nest, so we obviously kept Spencer, great player, and then we picked up Ned.
Oh, first name basis now, and that's how you know my man is professional. We picked up Spencer.
Yo, my boy Spencer. Hey, he's got a good last name though. I'll give him that.
So then we picked up Ned as well. I mean, he's probably #1 in Chicago again. Insane Pokemon trainer. He didn't do as well as he wanted to at Genesis, obviously, but I mean, he's done great at the Midwest Mayhem and all the regionals so far in the Midwest, and obviously he's going to be an insane player. I mean, Punch Trainer, as hard as people make it out to seem, but at the end of the day, it is 3 characters. That character, by default, will take longer to master, even if all 3 characters are relatively simple. At least in my opinion. Me, but I think that's a great pickup. And then we've got Myron, and I was like, that's great. This is amazing. You know, he got 9th at Genesis. He's probably not going to slow down. He'll probably end up being top 3 in Florida, despite Florida having Sam Sora and Zero and Leo and Salem. Like that man is 3rd or 4th. And he'll just keep getting better too because he gets to play with all those players constantly, including Dyer and all that. We picked up a literal prodigy. And Prodigy, the 14-year-old Mario main from NorCal that was always pretty solid. And then he had an insane performance at Genesis. I mean, 13th out of 2,100 players. That's crazy.
I agree.
Insane. He did amazing.
I agree.
So this team is super excited, and I'm super excited to see players, especially now that they can go to more things because they're sponsored. And I'm also curious to see what happens in terms of other players. I mean, there's still so many players out there that Light still doesn't have a team. That man is sponsorless. And Light's probably top 5 right now in the game. Mars, and that he's really good, also doesn't have a sponsor. Like that still don't have a sponsor, and I'm curious to see who gets in. Like, I really want to see Dignitas pick up like Mars or get Liquid to get another Smash Ultimate player or something.
CLG needs another one too. You
Yeah.
can't just have Void. But then it's like
new franchise too. Like, give me, I don't know, NIP or Phase. I don't know, something. Ghost.
Yeah,
anything.
I know.
You said Phase Clan.
Yo, Optic, let's go.
Phase Mars, dude. That would make sense.
Phase Mars.
Actually, FaZe Clan and Smash Brothers would be kind of hype.
Optic the
Would
Buzz.
be.
Can I get that, please?
Optic the
Yeah,
Buzz,
the Buzz
bro.
doesn't even have a sponsor anymore, really. So it's like, dude, there's so many people that still need to. And now I mean, two of the most like travel and well versed players just got picked up, in Ned and Iron. And then Prodigy, I don't know how much he'll be able to travel due to
Not,
being
I would
14.
imagine.
It's
Well,
crazy though. Like
yeah,
being able to help him at least get to more NorCal things and potentially like the sagas over the summer, like an Evo because it's not too far from NorCal. Like there's gonna be
yeah,
so
but
much
don't forget.
things that happen thanks to this, and I
And
hope it happens for more players.
yeah,
Mhm.
Mazer Gaming, they picked up La Luna and the cat.
Oh yeah, and the cat that is a
and
big pickup too.
Mhm.
and the cat, I think, is a huge catch. To be honest, that man, he is a personality. He
Oh
Mhm.
has
yeah,
his hand in just about everything. He's pretty good at this game. So to see him picked up, that's pretty dope as well. So yeah,
yeah.
I hope that more people travel more and like, hey, if you're good enough and if you're willing to, put yourself out there, you may get picked up by one of these esports teams. And if Smash grows to the level that it's supposed to, then hopefully more of these esports teams will indeed take notice. So let's move on to the juicy results. Only two tournaments happened this week. Only two
Couple more,
tournaments.
but these are like the two biggest
The
ones
two
for
the
sure.
two big tournaments happened this week, Dragonite. Thank you. Two big
I don't
tournaments.
want people to like listen and be like, "Wow, they only think two tournaments happen. What about my 100-man tournament in Michigan or something?" It's
My
like,
Okay.
43 person in Kalamazoo,
Oh,
North Dakota. Like,
okay. Well, your tournament in Istanbul wasn't important enough to be mentioned here. Sorry. I'm very I'm very sorry. Excuse me. But 2GG Heart of Battle, MVG MK Leo won with his 3-day old top tier wolf. 3 days
yeah,
old. His wolf was 3 days old. He with a 3-day old wolf.
I don't believe him. I don't think it was 3 days
I
old.
mean,
I don't think it was super well practiced, or at least as well practiced as any of his other characters. But I don't think it was 3 days old.
I think MK Leo is um top 3 player on earth, and
Oh yeah,
I think if
free.
he says his wolf is 3 days old, I think I kind of have the wherewithal to believe him.
Or
So
you believe them that Charizard beat Marth in Smash 4? Huh?
was
That's
he
what he thought.
using what was he using Charizard?
Oh, he was using Marth, and he thought Charizard beat Marth, and that DDD Marth was even and stuff like that. You believe him?
There was a lot of matchups in Smash 4. People just had the numbers completely wrong, by the way.
All right. Well, anyway, Leo first.
Somebody said that Bayonetta DK was 50-50. So
Okay, that is just not true at all.
exactly.
And DK obviously won the matchup. Duh.
But Mars got second. Wadi Rob with third place. Razzo,
Also,
Razzo with the Daisy Snake, with the
Finley Daisy.
with the
Mainly
with
good.
the with the Daisy getting fourth. We got Void getting fifth with Roy, and this is what I wanted to bring up. See, now we're in the post major phase where people are like, you know what? I think I want to try some different characters, and my man Void said, you know what? Let's option the Roy, see what happens, and he got fit because of it. Larry Lurr coming in strong with the Fox, the SoCal God. I'm hip with the Inkling and Olimar. Definitely hip with those two top tier picks, and then Schroeder with Greninja. Mars had an insane losers run.
It was actually wild. I mean, just reading all the people he beat. I mean, losing to Johnny Westside, winners finals of the pool, and then you beat Lumber, SM, and I don't know who Lumber is, but I know SM was always like PR level in Smash 4. Played Ike. I'm assuming he plays Ike in this game. Paper, who's a solid game to watch. Eon, who's great, amazing Pichu. He beat Johnny in the run back, then beat Schroeder, Void, Razzo, Wadi, and took a set off Leo. Like, boy, that is insane. I mean, right there, he beat like 4 PGR, 5 PGR, like hopefuls. I mean, Leo, that's 1. Wadi, that's 2. Void, that's 3. Eon, that's 4. Schroeder's probably 5, and Razzo has always been at that level too. So that's like 6. So 6 out of the 10 wins are like line PGR players that have been doing great in this game so far. and to do it with Zero Suit mainly too, not even Ike, but most of them was with Zero Suit, who a lot of people are sleeping on. Like, dude, how do you pick this man up? Needs a sponsor.
It's like I said, man. The Smash Brothers pool is ripe with talent. So, I mean, if he keeps performing this well at events like this, which had like 368 people at it for Smash Ultimate only, I've no doubt that this man will one day get picked up, and having that losers run like that, yeah.
I think he's just waiting on the right the right contract to come through. Like,
Probably, I'd be
like-
surprised if he doesn't get offers.
During
Yeah.
Genesis 6, like when Kitaro was commentating with D1, he gave the best advice I have ever heard any commentator give any player, and he said, "Don't you sign nothing until you top 8 the Super Major." And you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Mars hasn't hit. He hasn't top 8 the Super Major yet. So I guess that's when the orgs are watching, is what Ktaro's hitting at. So you know what I'm saying?
Right. I imagine he's got like organizations in his DMs, but I think for somebody like Mars's caliber, like they're not the right fit for him. Like they're especially for someone from, like, he's from New England, right?
Yeah.
So like it has to be an organization willing to send him to Florida, send him to Cali, send him Texas,
Yeah, that plane ticket ain't
Yeah.
cheap neither.
Mhm.
So that plane ticket minimum $300, bro.
So well, I bet he's getting offers. They're definitely not the offers I think he needs to be as good of a player as he can be. Like I think he's one of those players that, like, I could see him getting like a CLG, or even like a new team coming in. Like I know 100 Thieves was rumored to be like in talks with Tweak.
Ooh,
which
That
is like
would be
that
sick.
would have been tight. Oh my god.
like 100 Tweak. Like I'd be cool with
Thieves
that.
Tweak.
I don't know.
I'd be cool if 100 Thieves lied or Mars, or I mean, Dignitas has 2 melee players. They could hop into Ultimate as well. Like, there's so many options out there. Like,
sidebar,
get a second
which
person
is
if they really wanted to. Like,
sidebar. I wanted to bring this up actually. I wanted to ask, two intelligent minds, two young minds like yourself, make sure you guys had your head on your shoulders. So you get picked up by an organization, right?
Mm-hmm.
As a player, what are you expecting? If you if 100 Thieves was to sign you right now, Bobbles, and you were 100 Thieves Bobbles, as a player, what are you expecting?
Am I still me in the situation, or am I like a
you are you?
I am me.
I want $2.
Yeah, I'm flattered. Thank you.
I'll take.
I don't know.
Member.
There are more than like. So you're talking about like me at my skill level right now. Like, what would I expect?
Look, if they expect you, right? If they pick you up because of your talent, if they pick you up, if 100 Thieves picks you up, what are you expecting? What are you expecting? What are you expecting out of them in return for you wearing their brand? What are you expecting?
For me, assuming I could compete at a national level,
yes, there you go.
There would be like, it's obviously travel. Like for me, from my understanding, it's got to be like like my travel's got to be paid for, and then there's got to be like small incentives on top of it. So it's like a travel pay, possibly a small stipend depending on how big the team wants to get into the fold. So like a small just a small stipend, and then maybe additional incentives on top of that. So it's like, oh cool, you flew me out to you flew me out to this big SoCal event, and obviously my contract's like, this is how well I have to perform. But if I go out, say I top 8 or I top 4 even, like is there more on top of that for me, or is there more like incentives, more things to keep me going? Because I'm a very goals oriented person. Like there's got to be like a carrot at the end of the stick for me to go after. So if there's no carrot there, a lot of my I'm not very good at like finding that self motivation or finding that goal myself. Like there's got to be a carrot there for me to go after. So, I would imagine some sort of structure like that. realistically, I'd love to. I'm chasing the casting dream at this point. But if they want to, if an organization comes off, it's like we want you to be a good player, I'm like, all right, this is what I want.
Okay. How about you, Drago?
All right. Well, I'm gonna assume if I was like me right now, dude, just fly me out to one tournament every 3 months, and like
Oh,
give me clout. But if I'm Mars or Light, from what my understanding from what a lot of players want is that salary. So like, I mean, I'm sure if you're Leo, you could get more than 1,000 a month. But like for Mars or Light, probably like I think Wadi time ago when he was in discussions like in Smash 4, the man wanted like 500 to 600 salary and a couple and help with traveling. I'm sure that's what a lot of these players want. I don't know how realistic it is to get it.
it is completely unrealistic
But
unless you are the #1 player in the world, which is Sonic Fox, and he literally gets paid like 10 grand a year.
yeah, that man gets a lot. But
That's
I would
that's
assume
that's 10 grand a year is literally $7.25 an hour. It's
oh
like
yeah, but
almost $8
when
an
you're winning
hour.
everything and they're flying you out to everything, that's pretty good. But if I was Mars or whatever, I'm assuming he would mainly want every
Yeah,
event that's big and worthwhile. Obviously, if he wants to come to NFA, it, let's say there's an NFA like every 2 weeks somewhere in the country. It's not realistic to expect your sponsor to send you to every single one. But if there's a harder battle and a Genesis and then a Frostbite and then I don't know, like once or twice a month, then yeah, okay, I'd probably want help getting to basically every single one of those. So I'm assuming probably 2 events a month. Help me get there, hotel and all, flight and registration. I'll pay for food, whatever. And that's
yeah.
probably what he wants. But I mean, I don't
That's
know. That
yeah,
whatever they get is whatever they might have some streaming stipulations. They might have
yeah,
product endorsement like bonuses. I don't know. We'll see.
And I think,
yeah.
oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think that's another like new difficulty that I think a lot of top Smash players are going to have to overcome when it comes to getting picked up by, at least getting picked up by like tier 1 organizations, like legitimate established name brands. Is not only are you competing to be part of their brand, you're also your own brand. I think, like I look at like PG let MVD go, and I'm looking at it as like, well, MVD's still a good player. He's still posting up results. He was putting up as good, if not better, results than ESAM at the end of Smash 4 and at the beginning of Ultimate. And to me, it kind of got me thinking. I was like, well, ESAM's got his YouTube channel. He's got his Twitch. He's got a lot of things like that. Like ESAM's more than just
More clouded.
a competitor. Yeah. He's like ESAM
He's a face, is what.
Yeah, exactly. So you look at guys like Nairo and Anti, who are like personalities on top of just being good players. So, and I think that's why it's hard for DeBuzz to kind of find his footing, because while DeBuzz is an amazing player, he's not as like ambient of a personality as Nairo or Anti are.
Yeah.
So it's hard for a big top tier organization like TSM, like Energy, like Echo Fox to be like, yeah, we want DeBuzz, because DeBuzz, again, it just isn't an Nairo, isn't an Anti, isn't one of them. He's DeBuzz.
Yeah, which is cool. I mean, it's good that he's. But the thing is, if you're someone like the Buzz who doesn't, I mean, he does stream and it's fairly successful.
Mm-hmm.
But like if you compare it, and I know you can't compare things because that's unfair, and comparison is like the root of all jealousy or whatever, blah blah blah. Like when you compare it to a Nairo, like blows. Like Nairo's like pool and social media gain and follower count is significantly above the Buzz's, and the only way that you could pick up the Buzz if you like, assuming the game was big enough, because like if it was like if this was as much money as like Call of Duty or something, it wouldn't matter if the Buzz didn't have a personality. He does, obviously, but for sake of the argument, it wouldn't matter. Like he's good. There's this much money you get as long as they're good. But in Smash, that there's not necessarily all that. like the only way you're really gonna get a tier 1, or not necessarily just a tier 1, but like max deal with a tier 1, like Leo or someone. So like Leo, his stream is nowhere near as big as you think it would be for him being number 1 the last year of Smash 4 and probably top 3 in this game minimum, right? His stream is like 80 viewers, 100 viewers most of the time. Not that many subscribers. Like, it's not as big as you would think. His following in general isn't as big as you think it would be for someone as good as him. But he's that good. So Echo Fox is like, I don't care. This is the best player in the world, essentially. So I'm going to pick him up no matter what. And when you look at the Buzz, great player, top 5, top 10, but he has no personality and he's not winning everything, unlike Leo. So there's so many aspects to being picked up too. And I think that's something a lot of the players that don't have a sponsor need to work on. I mean, MVD is working on his stream. The Buzz is working on his stream. Mr. E, Mars. But they need to grind it more. They need to promote themselves more as a brand. Because no matter what, a sponsor is nice. It'll help you get to a lot of things. But at the end of the day, the real money is streaming and YouTube. And you could see that with Nairo. You could see that with Zero. Like, basic math, because they make their subs counts like public. I think Zero's like at 5K plus. That's bare minimum pre-taxes or whatever, 10K a month. Making 6 figures. Bare minimum off subs alone, assuming all 5,000 are tier 1, because there's no tier lower. I'm sure there's several that are tier 2 or higher. I'm sure he has.
Yeah.
And then partners get better percentages than just 50-50. Because like it's presumed that you just get 250 for every sub, but after a certain amount, you keep getting a better ratio. So assuming it's still just 50-50, all tier 1, minimum a month, Zero makes 10K off his stream. So that's why people had to grow their brand, and the sponsorship is just, at this point, really, it's just to help them grow their brand. I mean, imagine if Light got picked up by 100 Thieves and he started streaming more. Like, his stream is going to blow up 100T, and thanks to his results, because 100T is flying him out. But maybe he's not getting much money salary-wise, if at all. But his stream blows up and he has 500 subs. He's making minimum 1,000 a month now, and it has potential to keep going and be as big as Zero or Nairo, who are making like 6 figures a year minimum, and including tourney winning. It's not even including ad revenue or donations or salary if they have one. So I think people got to realize that becoming a brand is a lot more popular now, and Smashers are really, really supportive in streams. No matter if your stream has 60 viewers, like if you're Mr. E, subs, but his viewers aren't always 200 plus. But Smashers are really quick to give money to other Smashers. Look at Summit streamers. So basically, grow your brand, and after
When
that.
it comes to the whole when it comes to the whole players and sponsorship thing, there's plenty of ways to skin a cat, but it should tell you that since it's you, you do have a right to be selfish. So, and it's gonna be you, and nobody's gonna promote yourself or love yourself like you. So you got to make sure that you take care of yourself, especially when it comes to sponsorships in esports. And speaking of sponsored players, we have a couple more that actually are not sponsored that appeared this weekend at No Fun Allowed. 3 down here in Texas, continuing with the juicy results. So Austin got first. This man is probably going to be Area 51 at the least when it comes to the PGR, because apparently all the PGR just keeps coming to him and they keep losing, because SDX got second and Lima got third, and Jason, with his first appearance in a regional since Ultimatum, got fourth. Hockey getting fifth, with LTL getting fifth as well, and then Bob and Yellow Rello, the CTX boys, getting 7th place. And there's a name in here that's
It's missing.
Well, to be honest with you, this is the name that I expect here. To be honest with you, at this point, it's Elegant, who got eliminated by Hockey and winners, and then LTL and losers. Every time this man comes to Texas, he gets fried. Like And this was in Smash 4 as well, where this man,
At least in
well,
Smash 4, he'd get third or second.
in Smash 4 he would get like consistently. He would go to an SFC and get second. Very very strange. He would get second, minimum third, but now it's just like nah. When you come to Texas, this is a region that we mess up PGR who come down here, and I think Austin is one of the best players in the nation, and it shows. I mean, he keeps beating all these pro players, so I can't really argue with that. And no, Fallout 3 was a very very dope tournament, and it was filled with a bunch of like hardcore competitors. We saw like a bunch of people like rise up from the depths. We saw that man moisture. Yeah, he got
Right.
that man moisture. He got out of the pools, so that's also dope. I think a couple of players who can really go a long long way in this game that aren't in that top half of top eight. Bob. I think Bob is really, really good. I think Bob is really, really good. I think Yellow Rello is a great performer when he wants to be, which is only at regionals apparently.
Regional,
So,
yeah. Out of non-West Texas Yellow Rello is very different than in West Texas Yellow Rello, and I think it's just because he's been playing. He only loses to the other two people in in our top three right now, which are Dojo and Bound, which are two players that once they figure you out, they figure you out. Like you're done. So like the Yellow Rel has to be on point in playing in West Texas, but this dude goes out like he top 8 Shockwaves. He gets 7th at a 200 plus man regional. Like Yellow Rello when he's not when he's the invader is much better than when he's the defender.
definitely.
For sure.
So no Fun Allowed 3, very, very, very dope tournament. Not really much to say here, except the surprise that I mean, to be honest, like that top 8, it kind of played to its seeding, except for Elegant because that man Austin was seeded to win and he won, which is crazy to think about. So I hope to see a bunch of these Texas people travel, especially that bottom half. I would love to see them travel again. But tomorrow, which I immediately look at my phone over here, see like 2GG posts like, what are you expecting for tomorrow's direct? So of course, Nintendo is doing another direct. It'll be late afternoon. They said 2 o'clock, so it'll be what 4 o'clock when they do it. Yeah,
4 for us. Yep.
so it'll be 4 o'clock for us when they do it. And fingers crossed for you know who. Probably won't happen. I hope to see some Joker.
I hope we see Joker gameplay. I want them to announce the next character too. I don't know if it'll happen. I think it should. I mean, think about it this way: they have to release 5 characters starting from now to next year because they said all the characters are going to be out by February 2020. So when you got 5 characters in 12 months, that's like every 2.5 months ish at best.
Well, the Game Awards was in December, so technically you're not.
Yeah, so I mean, 3 months. Like it's been 2 months now. I mean, technically we got Piranha Plant, but we know that he was in development technically, and they were like, you know what? Let's just make it DLC, get the game out. Kind of, we'll make it free essentially, and that was a good choice on them. So Piranha Plant was basically the pure development time. So from the Game Awards, when we had no Joker gameplay, it's been about 2 months. I don't know anything about game design, but I'm assuming that's probably enough to make a character. And they probably already know, and they already know the other 4. I'm assuming we're gonna get a gameplay reveal and a reveal date.
I'm really interested to see this partnership between them and Microsoft.
Yeah.
And now that it's confirmed happening, I can only assume Banjo is on the way.
I forgot about that. We might get more info on that in the direct itself. You know.
I mean, if we get any type of Minecraft guy, Banjo, I'll quit. I will never play this game.
You won't play Smash if Minecraft Steve gets in?
If Minecraft Steve gets in instead of Banjo-Kazooie, I will never play this.
It's everybody. All right, it's a Microsoft IP. Everybody's been waiting for one of the most popular gaming icons in history, and you just see a diamond sword come up into shot, and it's Steve.
I'm gonna see I'm gonna see Recore and Ori, Will of the Wisps. Like I'll flip this desk and
Supers.
I will not play Super Smash Brothers. Mortal Kombat 11 comes out in April. I will not if they announce Minecraft Steve, I will not play this game. And
But
that's
what
a
if
bet.
Banjo is also in the game?
If Banjo's in the game, then I'll play it. But I think it's
Yeah.
ultimate disrespect. So many characters have been just flat out disrespected to not make it in this game already.
Yeah.
Like Isaac from Golden Sun, assist trophy. Shadow the
Phoenix
Hedgehog.
Wright.
Shadow the Hedgehog. Not even an Echo Fighter, but we're gonna make him an assist trophy too. Alucard. Not even not. We have representation with 3 characters from Castlevania. You put Simon, okay. Richter, that's a literally who isn't Travis Belmont. And
Who?
then you don't exactly, and you don't put in Alucard? Nah, bro. Something's up. Something's up, bro.
Dude,
No.
I just think that they need to announce the next character, and I'm hoping. I think Kingdom Hearts is announced tomorrow. Like
That
they don't
game,
even have
that
to say,
game,
they don't
that
have to say
franchise
Sora's
trash.
coming, but if they say any sort of Kingdom Hearts game is coming to the Switch, Sora's in Smash, and I will put money on it if that happens. But I mean, aside from Smash, there's so many games that we might get info on. I mean, this is the first direct since September, and
Yeah,
in that
this is
September direct,
yeah.
they leaked Animal Crossing, but they ended it with the Isabelle reveal. You know, there's so many things that could happen, like that change the landscape of the Switch. But like Smash wise, I'd be
Yeah.
shocked if we don't get at the bare minimum Joker gameplay. I guess technically we could get gameplay and no reveal date, but if we
Mhm.
get gameplay, we're getting the reveal date. And I think at the
Yeah,
bare minimum,
I
that's what
agree.
we're gonna get. I think they should announce the next one too. Be like, hey, Joker's out in 2 weeks, but guess who's coming next? And because they had to kind of hurry. I'm sure they don't want to, like, I don't know.
What if
I'm
what
trying
if
to
they
remember the
do
dates of all the characters in Smash 4. It started with Mewtwo, then I think it took 3 months, 4 months, but they released Roy, Ryu, and Lucas. And then after that, it was who? Cloud? And that took a while because that was like
I
May to
feel
like
like
October.
they're gonna do the Capcom tech.
Yeah, look this up.
They're gonna announce that character and then they're gonna hit you with that date and they're gonna cross out that date and say available now.
Mhm.
That's it. That's how you sell a product. I don't
I
even
mean,
have I don't even have the DLC. But if it were to do that tomorrow, that would make me go buy the DLC pass.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I like when they're like, "Hey, you see this? Boom, it's available right now."
They dangle in front of your face, man. I have bad opinions, so all the characters I want in Smash are never coming in because they're from like obscure third party or they're obscure third party
It's
characters.
not worse than Drago, so you go ahead.
Okay, calm down,
I
everybody.
want my top 2, and this is just because like the first fighting game I ever took semi seriously was Marvel 3. So 2/3 of my squad can make it in, and that's Amaterasu and Beautiful Joe.
Look, man, those are cool and all, but come on, Phoenix Wright, dude. Phoenix Wright is
I'm cool with
Nintendo
Phoenix Wright. I'm fine.
exclusive. It's a Nintendo exclusive franchise from Capcom.
Really,
Literally
really,
nothing.
both of you guys have picked the wrong characters because Wolverine is definitely gonna.
Oh, okay. Get
He's
outta
not,
here.
but Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 is a Nintendo Switch exclusive? Question mark.
If they put a
Yeah.
Marvel, if they put an X-Men
Yes,
character in, I'm crying.
a character in from comics, sadly. And also, I pulled up the DLC date. So Smash 4 came out what, like October 2014. Mewtwo came out March 28th, 2015. So it took like a couple months.
That's a
So we're
long
already ahead of
time.
that. You were available 2 months after that, but then the next DLC was Cloud, which took 6 months. And then after Cloud, it took 2 months for Corrin and Bayo. So for them, it was an average of like 2-3 months every character. But now that we have like a set roster, at least a fighter pass, and they said 5, and the last one should be out by February 2020 because that's what they said. So that's in a year. I mean, yeah, I don't know. And then it's possible that this is not the only fighter pass. I mean, I'm assuming that they want to make this game a platform, kind of like Street Fighter 5 or Overwatch, where they just constantly update the game.
Yeah, so you can
So-
so that way if depending on how this goes, then they'll like, oh hey, here's a season 2 which a lot of games are actually doing it.
I like that format too.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think it's a really great format because it just reinvigorates a fresh new coat of paint into the game. Like Dragon Ball Fighters, for example. This may not be the same Dragon Ball Fighters that we get in a year.
Right. That's what's nice, and it puts longevity into the game. It makes sure that the player base that you have stays playing the game, and it's probably more cost effective on the Nintendo side
Development
too,
side,
because
yeah.
instead of us having to crap a Smash game out every 4 years, we could probably take this one, run with it, maybe port it to our next console. And this game's running for like 8 years or 9 years.
Yeah, because Overwatch came out in what 2015.
2014.
Yeah,
Oh,
no, it March 2015 is when
yeah, it was the 2015 Game of the Year. I remember that.
And it's 2019.
2016 game of the year.
Yeah,
maybe I don't
May
remember
24th, 2016.
And but hopefully this is all we get everything we want from Nintendo Direct. The last one was kind of whack. But
it was. But I mean, it had good reveals, but it was kind of whack. But see, now they can make it up. Mario Golf. If they announce Mario Golf, I'm quitting Smash.
You are one of like 9 people excited for Mario Golf. When the god Hot Shots
played Toadstool Tour.
Why would I play
the last console one? That one was so good.
Why would I ever play? Why would I play that golf when Hot Shots for the PlayStation was a thing? Exactly.
Mario Golf is sick.
I'm excited for Animal Crossing. I haven't played an Animal Crossing game yet. I'm planning to get the one for the Switch. I'm down to just chill and build a town. Pokemon Generation 8 has been, like they said, they're working on it, so I hope we get some news there.
News, but we probably won't get it because Pokemon mainline games are always announced separately.
And Pokemon and Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu was trash.
Yeah, if they're like, haha, new games, and it's like, let's go Togepi, let's go Tyrogue, I'm gonna shoot myself.
Let's go Togepi.
Like, bro, I'm done. Like,
literally just a carton of eggs.
Unless it's like, let's go Porygon 2, but then I'm all over that. Porygon 2 is my homie, but
oh my god,
they hate Porygon because of that one episode. But anyway, yeah, Animal Crossing. I hope we get like, see, I don't even know what to expect from this direct.
It's been so long.
As long as I can leave pleasantly surprised, or at least like be as long as I'm not upset like I was after the September direct.
Yeah.
Like I hate it. Sucks that like the September direct was like the Isabelle reveal saved that direct.
It did.
And that's weird to say because like I wasn't even like I said I've never played an Animal Crossing game before. I don't care about Isabelle, but Isabelle reveal saved that direct. So
Smash announcements are always hype, and I mean I feel like the direct is gonna end with like an announcement. Like there's no way they just show us Joker and they're like, oh, that's it. Like they've never done that.
They swerved us with Cloud. I remember that the Cloud announcement was out of the blue.
Swerved us with Cloud.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, when Smash 4 DLC was still happening, every direct that happened had a Smash announcement.
But you know what? Right? Speculations are basically they're gonna end tomorrow.
So they're gonna announce a new character tomorrow. I'm convinced.
At 4 o'clock, all of our questions will be answered, and at 4:30 we can respond appropriately, in which we will give our reactions for the next button check that's happening next week. We don't have any tournaments, but next week the big one. Oh yeah.
Frostbite
weekend, Frostbite.
Oh yeah, it's Frostbite weekend. So that'll be our preview show where Frostbite has Tony Sherbert is the 1100th or I think Tony Sherbert's the 1100th person to sign up for Frostbite. He's the 1300th. Ooh. There's 1300 people at this tournament that a bunch of Houston is going to be at. I hope a bunch of Austin can make it now. Spirit Airlines is a thing in Austin now, and tickets are like $70. So
let's go.
I wish it was that cheap. It's not that cheap. Probably because of how late it is. But
that's too bad.
It's all good. I'm gonna be watching from the comfort of my own home, or at least at Arfi. But Viva la Meme.
Meme is going, dude. So much Texas is going. I'm so excited.
Viva la Meme, Viva la Joker. I'm a
Meme,
these guys
and I'm rooming with Meme and Joker, so.
Oh, they're a fantastic group.
I
love
know.
every second of it.
I know.
But I hope
They're
Meme does well. I hope Tony does well. I hope everyone that is going does well. Like,
Look, I want all of top 8 to be Texas. It's not happening,
no,
but I want it.
yeah.
it's
I'm
not-
saying,
it's
I would not
happening.
complain.
It's not happening because you say it is.
I would not
No.
complain if it was all Texas, unless because like it would have to include like Big Zaddy, and he's the homie. But I cannot deal with him getting top 8 at Frostbite and then just constantly bringing it up. So like, I'll keep Mehmet, Joker, and Tony. They could all make top 8.
Mhm.
6, nah, dude. You could get like 9th.
You know, me and Remo are going too. You don't think that we're gonna like at least?
No, y'all are going out too. I hate you both.
Oh,
well.
nice. Well, we're gonna end our show on that.
But this is gonna be an interesting off-air conversation.
So yeah, shouts out to mainline.gg for having me, Bobbles, and this spiteful human being known as Dragonite on the air, and we will see you guys next week. I'm Banjo.
I'm
Drago.
Oh,
sorry.
Well,
Okay, I'm Drago.
I'm trying to go clockwise. Damn it. I'm also Bobbles. Hello.
And that's our show. We'll see you guys next week. And Dragonite, I hate you. All right.
I hate you too.
All right.
Well, goodbye.
I love all of you.